Blessed one, stop scrolling right now. This is not a coincidence. This divine appointment was set before time began. The universe has conspired to bring this message directly to you in this exact moment, because you have been chosen for something extraordinary. Can you feel it, that stirring in your spirit? That quiet whisper that has been trying to reach you through the noise of everyday life? It is the call of your higher purpose, beckoning you toward a destiny far greater than you have dared to imagine. The fact that you have found this message at 3 a.m. is no accident. This is the hour when the veil between the physical and spiritual realms is thinnest, when divine wisdom flows most freely to those whose souls are prepared to receive it. And you, chosen one, have been prepared for such a time as this. Every struggle you have endured, every tear you have shed, every moment you've questioned your path or of it, has been forging you, refining you like precious metal in the fire, creating a vessel worthy of the blessings that are about to be poured out upon your life. Type "awakened" in the comments right now to align your spirit with this divine message. This simple act of faith will activate an unstoppable sequence of blessings that have been reserved specifically for you since the beginning of creation. Do you think it's merely by chance that you're awake at this hour, that your eyes found these words? There are no coincidences in the divine plan, only divine appointments. And this, blessed one, is your moment of divine appointment. Like a butterfly emerging from its chrysalis, you stand at the threshold of transformation. Everything you've known is about to change. The limitations that have held you back are about to shatter. The doubts that have plagued your mind are about to dissolve into absolute certainty. The universe itself holds its breath in anticipation of what you are about to become. Beloved soul, what you cannot see is more powerful than what you can see. Behind the curtain of physical reality, divine forces are orchestrating your victory with meticulous precision. Every setback you've experienced has been carefully calculated. Every disappointment strategically placed not to break you, but to position you. Let this truth penetrate your spirit. There are invisible armies fighting on your behalf right now. While you sleep, while you doubt, while you question whether anything will ever change, spiritual warriors are clearing paths, removing obstacles, and preparing blessings that will leave you breathless with wonder. Many will miss their moment because they trust only what their physical eyes can see. But you are different. You have been given spiritual sight, the divine ability to perceive what remains hidden to others. This gift of discernment is why you were drawn to this message at this unprecedented hour. Share this video right now. This simple act of faith will multiply the divine energy that is already gathering around you. For when you share this message, you become a conduit of blessing, not just for yourself, but for countless others who have been waiting for this same divine awakening. Remember the story of the farmer who plants his seed and then waits through the dark, silent seasons while invisible growth happens beneath the soil. This is where you stand now. The seeds of your purpose were planted long ago. They have been growing in the unseen realms, developing strong roots that will sustain the magnificent manifestation that is about to break through the surface of your life. Do you understand the significance of this moment? Do you grasp what it means that you are receiving this message now, at this precise juncture in your journey? It means that your season of invisible preparation is complete. The divine incubation period when heaven was working silently on your behalf while all seemed stagnant in the natural world has reached its culmination. You stand at the threshold of revelation. The challenges you face today are not evidence of abandonment, but confirmation of your calling. Would the enemy waste resources fighting someone who posed no threat? Would darkness gather against one who carried no light? The very resistance you encounter is testament to the power you possessed, power that your adversaries recognized, long before you became aware of it yourself. Think of the butterfly once more. In its metamorphosis, the caterpillar doesn't simply grow wings. It completely dissolves within its chrysalis, becoming liquid potential before reassembling into its destined form. This total dissolution is necessary for complete transformation. Similarly, what feels like you're breaking down is actually you're breaking through. Some who are watching will doubt. Their minds, conditioned by worldly limitations, will resist these truths. If doubt is clouding your perception right now, understand that this is natural, a final test before your breakthrough. Doubt is not your enemy, but your opportunity to exercise faith, to choose belief when disbelief seems more reasonable. The divine doesn't call the qualified, it qualifies the called. And you have been called before the foundations of the world were laid. Your name is inscribed in eternal records. Your purpose was established when stars were still being hung in the heavens. This very moment you, reading these words, feeling the stirring in your spirit, was ordained since the beginning of time. The cosmic forces of light and love have conspired to ensure that this message would reach you exactly when your soul was ready to receive it. Tap the like button 3 times right now. This symbolic action represents your acknowledgement of the threefold blessing that is being released into your life at this moment: restoration of what was lost, multiplication of what remains, and manifestation of what has been promised. You stand at a crossroads of destiny. 2 paths stretch before you, one of continued struggle in your own strength, and one of surrendered power where divine forces carry you toward your purpose. The choice seems obvious, yet so many hesitate, clinging to the familiar pain rather than embracing unfamiliar promise. But you are not like the others. Deep within, you have always known you are different, set apart, chosen for something extraordinary. That knowing wasn't pride, it was prophecy. It wasn't arrogance, it was awareness of your authentic assignment. The struggles that have nearly broken you were actually breaking you, creating space for greater light, expanded vision, and deeper purpose. What appeared to be delay was divine development. What felt like rejection was actually redirection. Every tear you've shed has been collected. Every prayer you've whispered has been heard. Every moment of faithfulness in the dark has been recorded. And now, the dividends of your spiritual investment are about to be paid in full. The divine ledger of your life shows that you are not in deficit, but in tremendous surplus. Blessings have been accumulating, gathering supernatural interest as they waited for this perfect moment of release into your life. Can you feel the shift in the atmosphere around you? Can you sense the gathering momentum of miracles that hover just beyond the veil of the visible? They are waiting for your permission, your agreement, your alignment with this divine declaration. Take a deep breath. As you inhale, you are breathing in possibility. As you exhale, you are releasing limitation. With each breath, you are syncing your human rhythm with divine timing, bringing yourself into perfect harmony with the universal forces that govern breakthrough and blessing. The countdown to your destiny has begun. What has been written in the stars must now be walked out on earth. What has been decreed in heavenly places must now manifest in earthly spaces. And you are the living bridge between these realms, the chosen vessel through which the impossible becomes not just possible but inevitable. Chosen vessel, hear this divine proclamation. What has been used against you will now work for you. The very weapons formed to destroy you are being transformed into tools for your elevation. This is the season of the great reversal in your life. Has rejection haunted your path? Those closed doors were not denials but divine detours, steering you toward the opportunity that was created specifically for you before time began. That opportunity stands before you now, waiting only for your recognition and acceptance. Have financial struggles constrained your vision? The lessons of stewardship learned in scarcity have prepared you for the abundance that is already in motion toward you. Heaven's economy operates by different principles than Earth's. What seems impossible in natural calculations is merely basic mathematics in the divine ledger. Have relationships betrayed your trust? The wounds that cut deepest have carved space within you for authentic connections of extraordinary depth and loyalty. Those who walk away were never meant to accompany you on this next phase of your journey. Their departure was not abandonment, but alignment, creating space for those divinely assigned to support your purpose. Comment reversed. Right now to activate this divine principle in every area of your life. This declaration of faith creates an unbreakable covenant between your current reality and your destined future. It is the spiritual bridge over which your blessings will travel from the realm of promise to the realm of manifestation. Consider the mighty oak tree that grows from a tiny acorn. The acorn must crack open and be buried in darkness before the tree can emerge. Your past difficulties were not punishment, but preparation, the necessary cracking and burying that precedes magnificent growth. The darker the soil, the more nutrients it contains. The deeper the roots grow in hardship, the stronger the tree that emerges. Do you dare believe that everything you've endured has been precisely calibrated to prepare you for a purpose beyond your imagination? Can you accept that divine wisdom has been working through even your most painful experiences to equip you with exactly what you'll need for the assignment that awaits you? The adversity that threatened to destroy you was actually developing within you the exact strength, wisdom, and resilience required for your divine assignment. Nothing, absolutely nothing, has been wasted. Every tear, every disappointment, every moment of confusion has been gathering compound interest in the spiritual realm. Think of Joseph, who was sold into slavery by his own brothers, falsely accused, and imprisoned for years. What appeared to be a tragic series of injustices was actually a divine positioning strategy. Every setback moved him closer to his destined place of authority. What his enemies intended for evil, divine providence transformed into the very vehicle of his elevation. This same principle is at work in your life at this very moment. The pattern is unmistakable to those with eyes to see. Your greatest trials directly precede your greatest triumphs. Your darkest hours come just before your most brilliant dawns. This is not coincidence but cosmic design. The frequency of your challenges has intensified because your breakthrough is imminent. The opposition increases in direct proportion to the magnitude of the blessing that awaits you. If you were not a critical piece in the divine plan, the forces of darkness would not waste energy trying to distract and discourage you. Subscribe to this channel right now. This simple act signals to the universe your commitment to staying connected to the divine frequency that is broadcasting your breakthrough. When you subscribe, you are not merely following content, you are aligning yourself with a continuous flow of divine revelation that will guide you step by step into your destiny. The great reversal happening in your life is not just for your benefit. You are being positioned as a living testimony, a walking, breathing demonstration of divine restoration that will inspire countless others. Your breakthrough is connected to their breakthrough. Your elevation creates a slipstream that will help carry them into their own destinies. The divine economy always multiplies. Where the world says either or, the spiritual realm says both. And your blessing doesn't diminish what's available for others, it actually increases the supply. This is the miracle of spiritual abundance. The more you receive, the more becomes available to all. Have you noticed the synchronicities increasing around you? The coincidences that defy statistical probability. The right people appearing at precisely the right moments. These are not random occurrences, but divine orchestrations, visible evidence of the invisible forces rearranging circumstances on your behalf. Even now, as you listen to these words, shifts are occurring in the spiritual atmosphere surrounding your life. Barriers that have stood immovable for years are dissolving. Resources that seemed perpetually out of reach are being released. People who will play crucial roles in your next chapter are being divinely directed toward you. The waiting has been painful. Yes, the silence has been deafening at times. But divine timing is never late. It is precisely calculated for maximum impact and lasting transformation. What appears as delay from your limited perspective is actually perfect synchronization from heaven's vantage point. Like a master chess player who sees 20 moves ahead, the divine strategist has been positioning every piece on the board of your life not just for a small victory, but for a decisive triumph that will echo through generations. Your current limitations are about to become the launchpad for unprecedented breakthrough. The great reversal has been set in motion. What was meant to destroy you will display you. What was intended to break you will elevate you. What seemed like your ending will prove to be merely your beginning. The script of your life is being rewritten from tragedy to triumph, from victim to victor, from overlooked to overcomer. This is your moment of divine demarcation, the supernatural dividing line between what was and what will be. Everything changes the moment you truly see and embrace this truth. Everything changes the moment you align your belief with this divine declaration over your life. Treasured soul, your life is not a random sequence of events, but a meticulously crafted masterpiece. Long before your first breath, a divine blueprint was established, a sacred design encoding your purpose, your path, and your ultimate potential. This blueprint exists beyond time, untouched by your mistakes and undiminished by your doubts. What appears chaotic from your limited perspective is perfectly ordered when viewed from the divine vantage point. The seeming detours and delays in your journey were never deviations from the plan, but essential components of it. Like a tapestry viewed from the underside, the threads of your life may seem tangled and without pattern, but from above, they form an exquisite design of purpose and promise. Have you wondered why certain dreams remain unfulfilled despite your best efforts? Why particular desires persist in your heart against all logic? These are not cruel torments, but divine echoes, whispers of your authentic calling that refuse to be silenced by temporary setbacks or worldly reasoning. Those persistent dreams were planted within you by the same force that hung the stars in the sky. They are not mere wishes but prophecies. Previews of what has already been established in the realm of spirit and is now seeking manifestation through you in the realm of matter. Double tap the like button and type activate in the comments to align your spirit with this divine blueprint. This sacred action connects your conscious intention with the eternal design of your life, accelerating the manifestation of what has been divinely ordained for this season. Consider the salmon that travels against powerful currents, overcoming seemingly impossible obstacles to return to its birthplace. This journey is encoded in its very DNA, unstoppable imperative that no barrier can permanently prevent. Similarly, the divine blueprint of your purpose is encoded in the deepest part of your being, drawing you ever homeward to your authentic calling. The obstacles you face are not evidence that you've chosen the wrong path, but confirmation that you're on the right one. Would there be resistance if you were moving in a direction of no consequence? Would there be warfare if your territory held no treasure? The intensity of the battle reveals the value of what you're fighting for. Every great calling is contested. Every divine assignment meets opposition. Every heaven-sent vision attracts earthly resistance. This is the cosmic law of purpose. The significance of your mission determines the strength of the forces aligned against it. But hear this divine promise. What has been written in the stars cannot be erased by earthly powers. What has been decreed in eternity cannot be nullified by temporary circumstances. The blueprint of your destiny was established outside of time, and is therefore unaffected by its limitations. Your struggles have not disqualified you, they have distinguished you. The fire that seemed designed to destroy you was actually purifying you, burning away everything that doesn't align with your true purpose. Like gold refined in the furnace, you emerge more valuable, not less, through the heating process. Have you noticed certain themes recurring throughout your life? Particular challenges that seem to follow you regardless of your circumstances? Specific types of people or situations that consistently appear in your path? These are not coincidences but clues, divine breadcrumbs leading you toward the fullness of your calling. The divine blueprint operates on the principle of progressive revelation. You need not see the entire path to begin the journey. Each step taken in faith reveals the next section of the route. Each act of obedience clarifies another aspect of the vision. The light shines just far enough ahead for you to take the immediate step, while the ultimate destination remains in blessed mystery. This is why your breakthrough requires faith. If the entire path were visible, trust would be unnecessary. If the process were predictable, surrender would be irrelevant. The uncertainty that sometimes torments you is actually inviting you into deeper relationship with the divine architect who holds the complete blueprint of your life. Share this video with 5 people whose spirits need awakening. This multiplication of divine revelation creates a sacred network of awakened souls, a spiritual ecosystem where each breakthrough catalyzes others, where individual transformations combine into collective restoration. The divine blueprint of your life includes strategic connections, all alignments with others who carry complementary purposes. Some of these divine appointments have been delayed because you weren't yet ready for what they would activate within you. Others have been postponed because they weren't prepared for what you would catalyze within them. But the divine timing is now aligning all necessary elements. Like puzzle pieces finding their perfect fit, the relationships essential to your next level are now being divinely orchestrated. People you've never met are being positioned to intersect with your path. Resources you've never accessed are being prepared for your stewardship. Opportunities you've never imagined are being created specifically for your unique gifts. The blueprint includes not just what you will do, but who you will become in the process. The journey itself is transformative, each challenge developing an essential quality, each victory establishing a necessary truth, each relationship revealing another facet of your multidimensional purpose. You were created not merely to fill a generic role, but to express a unique aspect of divine creativity that no other soul can manifest in quite the same way. Your fingerprints are unlike any others on earth because your assignment is equally distinct. The particular blend of gifts, experiences, wounds, and healings that constitute your life creates a singular lens through which divine light shines in a way it can through no other. This is why comparison is not merely unhelpful but fundamentally flawed. When you measure your journey against another's, you're attempting to superimpose a foreign blueprint over your divinely crafted original. The result can only be distortion and delay. Your only meaningful comparison is between who you are today and who you're designed to become. The divine blueprint of your life remains intact, regardless of past detours or failures. No mistake you've made has the power to nullify what was established before time began. No delay has diminished the magnificence of what awaits. The masterpiece of your purpose has been preserved in the eternal realm, waiting for your alignment and surrender to manifest in breathtaking fullness. This very moment represents a divine convergence, when your awareness aligns with heaven's intention, when your willingness meets divine timing, when your surrender activates supernatural acceleration. Everything changes the moment you truly see and embrace the divine blueprint of your extraordinary life. Divine heir, a sacred countdown has begun in the spiritual realm. The ticking clock of destiny measures not earthly seconds but divine alignments, each moment bringing you closer to the supernatural convergence that will catapult you into your next dimension of purpose and provision. This is not merely poetic language but spiritual reality. Heaven's timekeepers are marking this moment. Angelic forces are positioning themselves. Cosmic gateways are opening. The countdown to your elevation has commenced, and nothing in heaven, on earth, or beneath the earth can stop what the divine has set in motion. Have you sensed the acceleration in your spirit? Have you noticed the intensification of both challenges and confirmations? This spiritual phenomenon always precedes breakthrough, like the increased contractions before birth, like the darkest part of night before dawn, like the final resistance before the butterfly emerges from its chrysalis. You stand in the critical gap between promise and fulfillment, that sacred space where faith is tested and proven authentic. Many abandon their miracles in this very space, retreating from discomfort when manifestation was mere moments away. But you are different. You have been given spiritual endurance for this precise season. Press the like button and comment countdown activated. Right now, this prophetic declaration aligns your earthly timeline with heaven's calendar, synchronizing your human experience with divine chronology. When you make this declaration, you are stepping out of human timing and into Kairos, the perfect, appointed moment of supernatural intervention. Consider how a master chef knows precisely when to remove a dish from the oven, not a moment too soon or too late. Similarly, divine timing operates with perfect precision. What appears as delay is actually protection, shielding you from premature exposure, preserving you for the exact moment when all necessary elements have reached optimal alignment. The waiting has been painful. Yes, the silence has sometimes seemed unbearable. But this interval has not been empty, it has been pregnant with purpose, filled with invisible preparation, rich with spiritual development that could occur in no other way. Nothing has been wasted, nothing has been overlooked. Every moment has been meticulously utilized to prepare you for what comes next. Do you understand the magnitude of what awaits you? Can you grasp the significance of the assignment for which you've been prepared? The divine doesn't invest such intensive training in those destined for small tasks. The depth of your preparation reveals the height of your calling. Your breakthrough is not merely for your benefit, but for the benefit of countless others connected to your purpose. You are being positioned as a conduit of blessing, a channel of restoration, a living demonstration of divine faithfulness. Your testimony will become a beacon of hope for those still walking through the darkness you have navigated. The sacred countdown accelerates with each act of faith. Every time you choose belief over doubt, gratitude over complaint, persistence over surrender, you compress time in the spiritual realm. You create supernatural momentum that propels you toward your manifestation with increasing velocity. Share this video and tag someone who needs this message. This action creates a spiritual bridge between souls, allowing the divine current flowing through these words to reach those divinely connected to your journey. Some who will play crucial roles in your next chapter will find you through this very act of obedient sharing. The obstacles that have seemed insurmountable are now revealing their divine purpose. Like weights that strengthen a muscle through resistance, these challenges have been developing specific spiritual capacities within you: endurance, discernment, authority, compassion, precisely the qualities required for your imminent assignment. Have you recognized the divine pattern in your life? The cycle of promise, preparation, problem, and then promotion. This sacred sequence repeats because it follows the universal law of spiritual development. The seed must be planted, then buried in darkness, subjected to pressure, before it can break through into manifestation. You are in the breaking through phase of this cycle. The pressure you feel is not crushing you but positioning you for emergence. The resistance you encounter is not blocking your progress, but building the strength necessary for your next level. What feels like opposition is actually divine opposition, training controlled resistance, designed to develop your spiritual muscles. The sacred countdown involves precise celestial calculations, cosmic forces, angelic assignments, earthly circumstances, and human readiness must all align for maximum impact. This divine synchronization explains why certain breakthroughs cannot be rushed or forced. They require the convergence of multiple dimensions operating in perfect harmony. But here, this divine assurance, the countdown has reached its final phases. What has been prophesied must now be fulfilled. What has been promised must now be manifested. The divine mathematician has calculated every variable, accounted for every potential obstacle, and determined that this is the appointed season for your elevation. Like an archer who draws back the bow before releasing the arrow, the divine has been creating potential energy through your period of restriction. The further back the bow is drawn, the greater the forward momentum when released. Your season of limitation has been creating the precise tension needed for extraordinary forward propulsion. Those who have discounted you, dismissed your vision, or delighted in your delays are about to witness a divine demonstration. Your breakthrough will not arrive quietly or incrementally, but suddenly and dramatically with undeniable evidence of supernatural intervention. What human efforts could not accomplish in years, divine acceleration will manifest in moments. The sacred countdown transcends human logic and natural limitations. It operates according to spiritual laws that supersede physical constraints. This is why your breakthrough will defy statistical probability, contradict expert predictions, and surpass even your most optimistic expectations. The divine specializes in the unprecedented, the unexpected, the seemingly impossible. Heaven's clock has struck the hour of your advancement. The divine timekeeper has announced the moment of your elevation. The sacred countdown reaches its culmination not in the future, but now in this very moment, as these words resonate in your spirit and awaken the dormant faith that will catapult you into your divine destiny. Anointed one, a sacred transaction is taking place in the spiritual realm at this very moment. A divine exchange is being offered to you, trading your limitations for limitless potential, your scarcity for supernatural abundance, your brokenness for divine wholeness. This cosmic transfer of spiritual assets transcends human understanding, but is accessible through divine revelation. This exchange operates by spiritual laws higher than natural principles. Where earthly economics demands equivalent value, the divine exchange offers exponential increase. Where human transactions require balanced ledgers, heaven's economy specializes in outrageous imbalance, always in your favor. What you surrender, no matter how small, is multiplied beyond calculation in this sacred transaction. Have you been holding tightly to what must be released before you can receive what awaits you? Have you been clinging to the familiar limitations that feel safer than unfamiliar possibilities? The divine exchange requires open hands, letting go of the good to receive the great, releasing the past to embrace the future, surrendering control to gain true power. Like a caterpillar that must surrender its form to become a butterfly, you are being invited into a transformation that requires complete release. The caterpillar doesn't merely grow wings, it completely dissolves within the chrysalis, surrendering its entire identity before emerging as something entirely new. This is the level of exchange being offered to you now. Type "I accept the exchange" in the comments to activate this spiritual transaction in every dimension of your life. This prophetic declaration reaches beyond the visible realm into the courts of heaven, where divine decrees are established and spiritual transfers are authorized. Your words carry creative power when aligned with divine intention. Consider how water transforms when heat is applied. At exactly 212 degrees Fahrenheit, 100 degrees Celsius, it changes from liquid to steam, gaining exponential power and possibility in the process. The molecule remains HO, but its capacity and potential are utterly transformed. You stand at precisely this transformation point, your essence unchanged, but your expression and impact about to be dramatically elevated. The divine exchange operates in perfect timing. What seems like delay has been divine preservation, protecting you until you developed the capacity to steward what's being released to you. The weight of glory coming your way would have crushed you had it arrived any sooner. But now, through the very trials that seemed to be against you, you have been strengthened to carry what once would have overwhelmed you. Do you perceive the shift in the atmosphere around you? Can you sense the gathering momentum of heaven's resources being mobilized on your behalf? The divine exchange is not a distant promise, but a present reality happening now, in real time, as these words penetrate your spirit and activate your faith. Your part in this exchange is simply radical acceptance, receiving what has already been decreed in the spiritual realm. Like an heir who must still sign documents to access an inheritance already legally theirs, you must actively participate in claiming what has been divinely allocated to you. Doubt delays this process. Faith accelerates it. Tap the subscribe button and turn on notifications right now. This symbolic action represents your commitment to staying attuned to heaven's frequency, remaining connected to the divine broadcast that will guide you step by step through this supernatural transformation. Each notification will serve as a divine reminder of the exchange underway in your life. The divine exchange transforms not just your circumstances, but your identity. You are being upgraded from orphan to heir, from victim to victor, from survivor to thriver, from passenger to co-pilot in your own destiny. This identity shift is the foundation upon which all external changes will be built for. What manifests around you always aligns with who you believe yourself to be. What you've labeled as loss has been preparation for gain beyond measure. What you've experienced as rejection has been protection from connections that would have limited your ultimate purpose. What you've interpreted as punishment has been preservation for an assignment of extraordinary significance. The divine exchange redeems every painful experience by transforming it into powerful purpose. Have you noticed certain doors closing with increasing frequency? Have you felt pushed out of situations where you once seemed secure? This divine disruption is not abandonment, but advancement, removing you from where you've been to position you where you're destined to be. The divine exchange often begins with divine displacement, like a master chess player who sacrifices a piece to gain strategic advantage. The divine strategist has allowed certain losses in your life to create space for greater gains. What appeared as defeat was actually a strategic repositioning. What seemed like backward movement was actually the necessary drawback before a quantum leap forward. The exchange rate in this divine transaction defies natural mathematics. Your tears are being exchanged for triumph, your pain for purpose, your confusion for clarity, your lack for legacy-building abundance. For every unit surrendered, you receive hundredfold returner, because you've earned it, but because divine generosity operates by principles of grace rather than merit. Share this video on every platform available to you. This act of faith creates multiple access points for the divine exchange to reach those connected to your destiny. Some who will play crucial roles in your next chapter will discover you through this very sharing, divine appointments disguised as random social media encounters. The magnitude of opposition you faced reveals the significance of what you carry. The intensity of the battle indicates the value of the territory. The forces of darkness would not waste resources fighting someone of no consequence. The very resistance you've encountered testifies to the threat your divine assignment poses to the kingdom of darkness. You stand at the precipice of supernatural transfer, where burdens become blessings, where wounds become wisdom, where tests become testimonies. This exchange transforms not just what you have, but who you are, recalibrating your spiritual DNA to carry greater glory, increased authority, and expanded capacity. The divine exchange is both instantaneous and progressive, happening in a moment, but unfolding over time. Like a legal transaction that is completed, the instant documents are signed, but manifests its benefits gradually. Your spiritual inheritance is being transferred now, but will continue revealing new dimensions of blessing as you walk forward in faith. Everything changes the moment you fully embrace this divine exchange, when you stop striving and start receiving. When you cease earning and begin inheriting. When you release the illusion of control and surrender to the perfection of divine orchestration. Your breakthrough isn't something you achieve. It's something you receive in the sacred space of surrender. Sovereign soul, a royal mantle is being placed upon your shoulders at this very moment. This spiritual garment of divine authority is being woven with golden threads of destiny and adorned with jewels of purpose. It carries the weight of glory and the responsibility of legacy. This mantle marks you as one who stands in the courts of heaven with the legal right to affect earthly circumstances. This is not symbolic language, but spiritual reality. You have been granted authority in realms you cannot yet see, but are about to influence. The invisible crown of divine appointment rests upon your head. The scepter of spiritual dominion has been placed in your hand. The signet ring of heaven's endorsement now marks your decisions with divine backing. Have you felt the increasing weight of spiritual responsibility? Have you sensed the growing urgency to step into greater authority? These are not burdens to resist, but confirmations of your royal appointment. Evidence that heaven has recognized your readiness for elevation to a new dimension of spiritual impact. You were never created merely to exist, but to reign, to exercise divine authority in your assigned territory. This dominion is not about power over others, but power on behalf of others, the sacred ability to shift atmospheres, break limitations, establish divine order, and release supernatural provision wherever you direct your focus and faith. Type, "I accept my mantle" in the comments right now. This prophetic declaration activates the full measure of authority that has been allocated to your spiritual account. When you make this declaration, invisible barriers are shattered, spiritual forces are mobilized, and divine resources are released into your sphere of influence. Consider how a judge's authority doesn't come from personal strength, but from the legal system behind the bench. The gavel's power exceeds the physical strength required to wield it, because it represents an entire justice system. Similarly, your spiritual authority isn't limited to your human capabilities, it carries the full weight of divine backing. When you speak with this authority, you access power far beyond your natural abilities. The mantle of authority comes with divine jurisdictions, specific territories where your words carry supernatural weight. These may be geographical areas, particular industries, certain categories of problems, or specific types of people. Your unique authority operates most powerfully within these assigned domains where heaven has given you legal, spiritual rights to create change. Do you recognize the specific arenas where your words seem to carry unusual impact? Have you noticed certain types of situations consistently placed in your path? These patterns reveal your jurisdiction, the precise areas where your mantle of authority operates with maximum effectiveness. Your authority is being expanded in this season. Territories previously closed to you are being divinely reassigned under your influence. Resources previously withheld are being legally transferred to your stewardship. Relationships previously resistant are being supernaturally realigned with your purpose. The boundaries of your impact are being dramatically extended. Hit the like button 7 times right now. This symbolic action represents your acceptance of the 7-fold increase in authority being released into your life at this moment. The number 7 signifies divine completion and perfection, the fullness of spiritual empowerment necessary for your next level assignment. The mantle of authority requires corresponding character. This is why your trials have been so intense. They weren't punishments, but preparations, developing within you the integrity, wisdom, and compassion necessary to wield great power responsibly. Heaven never entrusts significant authority to untested vessels. What you've interpreted as delays in your breakthrough have actually been divine development. Periods intensive training to ensure you can handle the weight of the mantle now being placed upon you. Had your elevation come any sooner, the authority would have corrupted rather than empowered you. Divine timing has been divine protection. Have you wrestled with unexpected opposition from those who should have supported you? Have you encountered peculiar resistance in areas where you should have found easy progress? This counterintuitive opposition is the final examination before promotion, testing whether you will exercise authority through human force or divine grace. Like a blacksmith who repeatedly heats and hammers metal to create a masterpiece, the divine craftsman has subjected you to intense pressures and temperatures, not to destroy you, but to shape you into a vessel worthy of carrying extraordinary authority. Each painful experience has been removing impurities that would have compromised your effectiveness. The mantle of authority is being released with unprecedented measure because unprecedented challenges demand unprecedented solutions. The world stands at a critical juncture, where business as usual approaches are proving inadequate. Divine strategy requires vessels who can carry and release supernatural authority into seemingly impossible situations. Share this video and tag 7 people whose lives need divine intervention. This multiplication of authority creates a network of supernatural impact, where each person you touch becomes a conduit for heaven's power to reach many others. Your obedience in this simple act triggers an exponential release of spiritual influence. The magnitude of opposition you faced has been precisely calibrated to develop the exact level of authority you'll need for your divine assignment. If you've encountered extraordinary resistance, it's because you're being prepared for extraordinary impact. The higher your calling, the more intense your preparation must be. You stand at the intersection of human need and divine provision, positioned as an authorized agent who can facilitate supernatural transfer between these realms. This is the essence of spiritual authority, the legal right to access heaven's resources and direct them into earthly situations according to divine purpose. The mantle of authority transforms your words from mere communication to creative declaration. When you speak from this place of divine appointment, your statements carry atmosphere-shifting power. This is why you must guard your tongue with increased vigilance. Your words are becoming increasingly consequential, creating either life or death in your sphere of influence. The authority being placed upon you now exceeds anything you've previously carried or imagined possible. It will manifest in surprising ways and unexpected places. Situations that have resisted all human efforts will suddenly yield to your divinely empowered words. Problems that have persisted for generations will dissolve in the presence of your heaven-backed authority. Everything changes the moment you fully embrace the mantle of authority that has been divinely assigned to you. When you stop doubting your calling, when you cease questioning your qualifications, when you release false humility and step boldly into the supernatural influence that is your spiritual birthright, your breakthrough comes not from striving harder, but from standing taller in the full measure of your divine appointment. Glorious vessel, the moment of manifestation has arrived. What has existed in the spiritual realm is now breaking through into physical reality. What has been prophesied is being performed. What has been promised is being produced. The invisible is becoming visible. The intangible is becoming tangible. Divine intention is becoming earthly intervention. This is the sacred culmination toward which every previous chapter of your journey has been building. Every tear, every trial, every triumph has been precisely positioned to create this perfect moment of supernatural convergence. Nothing has been wasted. Nothing has been overlooked. Nothing has been left to chance in the divine choreography of your destiny. Have you noticed the acceleration of divine signs in your life? Have you recognized the increasing frequency of heavenly confirmations? These supernatural markers are not coincidental but coordinated cosmic signposts, indicating that you have entered the zone of manifestation, where spiritual realities materialize with breathtaking speed and supernatural precision. You stand at the threshold of tangible evidence, where faith becomes sight, where prayers become provision, where prophecies become performance. This manifestation will not come incrementally but exponentially, not through gradual improvement but through quantum leap. What would have taken years in natural progression will manifest in moments through supernatural intervention. Press the like button, subscribe, and type "manifest now" in the comments to activate the final seal of divine authorization. This threefold action represents your complete alignment with heaven's timing, triggering the release of what has been held in divine escrow until this precise moment. When you make this declaration, the final barrier between promise and performance is shattered. Consider how a woman carries a child for 9 months, experiencing discomfort, restriction, and increasing pressure, but then, in a relatively brief moment of intense culmination, brings forth new life that forever changes her world. Similarly, your long season of spiritual gestation is giving way to supernatural birth. The intense pressures you feel are not destroying you, but delivering you into a new dimension of divine purpose. The manifestation now unfolding in your life operates by spiritual laws higher than natural limitations. It defies logical timelines, contradicts expert opinions, and surpasses reasonable expectations. This divine demonstration will leave no doubt about supernatural involvement. Its magnitude, timing, and precision will carry unmistakable evidence of heavenly orchestration. Do you comprehend the significance of this moment? Can you grasp the magnitude of what heaven is releasing into your life? This manifestation is not merely for your benefit, but for divine vindication, a public demonstration that what was prophesied over you was truly heaven's sent, that your faith was not misplaced, that your perseverance was divinely validated. Your breakthrough will become someone else's breaking point, the divine evidence that finally shatters their doubt and ignites their faith. Your manifestation will become their motivation, your testimony their turning point. This is why your struggle has been so intense. What's being manifested through you is meant to impact countless others who will witness the undeniable evidence of divine intervention in your life. Share this entire video series and tag everyone who needs a breakthrough. This multiplication of divine revelation creates a supernatural network effect where each person who encounters this message becomes a potential conduit for heavenly manifestation in their own sphere of influence. Your obedience in sharing triggers an exponential release of divine demonstration. The manifestation now unfolding has been meticulously timed for maximum impact. Had it arrived earlier, key witnesses would have been missing. Had it come later, critical connections would have been lost. Divine timing has orchestrated this precise moment when your breakthrough will create the greatest possible ripple effect in the lives of others divinely connected to your purpose. Have you felt an inexplicable peace despite intensifying challenges? Have you experienced supernatural clarity in the midst of swirling confusion? These internal shifts are the first evidence of manifestation, the inner transformation that always precedes external demonstration. Heaven works from the inside out, establishing in your spirit what is about to be established in your circumstances. Like a master conductor who brings various instrumental sections into perfect harmony for a climactic crescendo, the divine orchestrator has been aligning every necessary element for this magnificent moment of manifestation. Circumstances, relationships, resources, and divine timing are converging in supernatural synchronization to produce a demonstration of divine power that will leave witnesses in awe. The manifestation you are stepping into transcends personal prosperity, carries kingdom purpose and eternal significance. This is why ordinary approaches have proven inadequate and conventional wisdom has failed to produce results in your situation. What heaven is manifesting through you requires supernatural methodology because it carries supernatural mandate. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications right now. This final act of alignment ensures you remain connected to the continuous flow of divine revelation necessary to navigate the new dimension you are entering. Each notification will serve as a divine reminder of the ongoing manifestation unfolding in your life, a journey that begins with breakthrough but continues with ever-increasing glory. The magnitude of your manifestation directly correlates to the depth of your surrender. What heaven releases through you is proportional to what you release to heaven. This divine exchange operates on the principle of complete trust. The greater your abandonment to divine purpose, the greater the demonstration of divine power through your life. You stand at the intersection of human limitation and divine possibility, positioned as a living demonstration of what happens when heaven invades earth with supernatural provision. Your breakthrough will defy natural explanation, contradict logical expectations, and surpass conventional possibilities. It will stand as undeniable evidence that divine intervention has transformed your impossible into inevitable. The manifestation now being released carries generational impact, breaking ancestral limitations, establishing new family legacies, and creating spiritual inheritance that will benefit those who come after you. What heaven is doing through you isn't merely for this moment, but for movements to come, divine demonstrations that will continue producing fruit long after you've completed your earthly assignment. Everything changes in this moment of divine manifestation when you fully align with heaven's declaration, when you completely embrace supernatural possibility, when you finally release the last vestiges of doubt and step boldly into the extraordinary future that has been divinely ordained for you since before time began. Your moment has come, your time has arrived. Your season of manifestation is no longer approaching but present. Step into it with bold faith, unwavering confidence, and joyful expectation. What has been written in the stars is now being performed on earth. What has been decreed in eternity is now manifesting in time. The divine has become tangible. The supernatural has become visible. Your breakthrough is not just coming, it is here.